Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
And here we go. It is Tuesday, October 11, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Good afternoon, my guy. How you doing over there,
I'm
Ryan?
doing real fine today. Having a good day today.
Good. So am I. Weather's nice outside. You know, we're getting a little extended summer, if you will. We know it's about to get cold, but you know, Mother Nature has chosen to bless us with some good weather, so I'm gonna embrace it as well.
They say today is the last perfect day because if you go outside today, it is absolutely perfect.
Well, Ryan or Maz, I would have to disagree with that because every day that I get a chance to be a part of Ermanni and Edwards with Maz is a perfect day.
Speaking of the width apart, Mr. Mazawey, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Hello there, my friends. Welcome in. Beautiful Tuesday. Lions free week this week. We'll just talk a little bit about them, obviously, with the bye week. Baseball playoffs underway. Phillies up 3-1 on Atlanta already.
Lions still find a way to lose this week.
Yeah, Lions
They'll
might
lose the bye.
They
Somebody
might lose
will
the
get
bye.
hurt.
Everyone will
Something
laugh about that.
Right.
But a beautiful October day, man. How do you not feel great?
How do you not?
How do you not?
That's right. No doubt about it. We've been laughing our tails off today, by the way. This has been a good day already so far. We're having a lot of fun. Thanks for being along with us. Again, woodwardsports.com. Woodward Sports Chat. We hope to see you in there. We'll read some of your comments throughout the day. Big show for you today. One of Braylon's former teammates, 12-year NFL vet, played for the Lions, the Pats, and the Jets. A two-time Super Bowl champion, now currently an analyst for ESPN. Damien Woody will join us today in about 22 minutes from now. Very excited about that.
Very excited, and especially excited to ask him, you know, on the heels of what happened last night in terms of Chris Jones and the roughing the passer play that they called that was unexceptional. I mean, it was unexcusable. And then they did the same thing to Tom Brady and Grady Jarrett. So it'll be interesting to get his take as a former NFL lineman on the road.
No doubt about it. But we will start with the NFL. Last night, Monday Night Football, Patrick Mahomes did it once again. 4 touchdown passes, 4 of them.
To who?
To Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
That is a Monday Night Football record. My goodness. 2 touchdown catches for Davante Adams. He was in the news. But what everybody's talking about, there's about 3 different elements. 4, really, people are talking about in this game. First and foremost, how fun the Kansas City Chiefs are. They are the most fun team to watch in football.
And the Raiders.
And the Raiders too, but Kansas City, when Patrick Mahomes is playing football, it is must-see TV.
It's must-see TV. He's the most electrifying person. I mean, Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson, so maybe there's a different connotation. Maybe he's the most electric player in the NFL at the quarterback position. But with Patrick Mahomes, it's just something special. Like, whenever he takes a snap, you're just waiting for something great to happen. But I will say this. Kansas City Chiefs got to look out. And everybody's betting on the Chiefs. Everybody's said they're going to go far in the playoffs, etc. Pay attention. There's nobody on the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver corps that these teams are fearing. They're playing 8-man in the box and man-to-man coverage. You know, Travis Kelce had 4 touchdowns, but outside of 1 catch by Valdez-Scantling, like Juju Smith-Schuster had 1 catch, 2 targets. Yeah. Like, they aren't getting the ball to wide receivers inadvertently to what they used to do with Tyreek Hill. They don't have that guy anymore. So you're seeing Patrick Mahomes have to come back in games, have to come back from dogfights. Not saying he didn't do that when Tyreek was there, but you got to keep your eye on that because it just looks a little harder for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's still flawless, but it just looks a little harder for that team on offense.
And him and McCall Hardman are not really on the same page, and I think Troy and Joe talked about that last night. It just he ain't the cheetah.
Yeah.
That's for
Nobody is, by the way.
He always wanted to be. Remember, he was as fast as him. Remember, at one point they said they have the 2 fastest guys in the NFL, but he just doesn't have the it that the cheetah has and other top-notch receivers. And Bray, you hit it on the head as a wide receiver expert. Yeah, they don't have the big guns, and maybe OBJ goes there at the end of the year.
That'd be interesting. You know, you saw you saw Marcus Spears, ESPN analyst, tweeted out at OBJ, I think I want to say a week and a half ago, and said, we're 4 teams, and he listed 4 teams. Yeah. Kansas City Chiefs were definitely one of the 4 teams he listed and agreed with. So as you're watching this thing play out, keep an eye on that, man. It might be a good call.
Just the last thing on the Chiefs receiving core. Well, it doesn't have to be, but who's their one? Right? I mean,
Kelsey.
But again, Valdez-Scantling was, kind of a B or C player to Davante Adams. Juju Smith-Schuster
gets no targets.
But he was really a Robin to Antonio Brown's Batman, really. And then when he got elevated up, he really never took off. Not everybody's a one. Sky Moore, he's a rookie.
He could be a one later.
He could be a one. Mercole Hardman,
he was really
a good D, good number 4 wide receiver.
He's a 3.
But now you move him up to 3 and 2.
You got a bunch of 2s and 3s on that team.
Exactly. So that is difficult.
Now that's going to affect you when you get later into the playoffs.
In Juju's defense, he was hurt, and he was questionable all week with a hamstring. So. Maybe not at full strength.
No doubt.
Got to stop dancing in the pregame.
I'll tell you, they could still run. Look at Jarek McKinney last night. He ran like a beast last night.
Yeah, he did. Number one, he's fast. He's electric. He's real smooth on the outside. Once he gets to the sideline, he does most of his damage on the sideline. But they are still fun to watch, and probably because Travis Kelce, if he keeps the pace that he's on we're always so eager to try to crown somebody the next great one. Oh, he's better than this one. He's going to be better. We do that a lot. But I'm dead serious about Travis Kelce. If Travis Kelce stays on this trajectory for another 7 years, Travis Kelce will be the best tight end that ever played in the game.
He's up there.
Tony
Gonzalez.
Because right now it's Tony, it's A. Gates, Shannon Sharp. You can throw him in there.
Absolutely.
And to me, Kellen Winslow Sr. Like, you throw those 4 guys in there. Like, those are your tight ends.
Gronk.
And Gronk. Excuse me. I knew it was somebody I was missing.
Yeah.
But you look at what he's done. Travis Kelce's averaging 1,300 yards in the last 5 years, man. He's averaging over 10 touchdowns every year. That's unprecedented territory. Because even though Tony Gonzalez was having big yards, every year Tony was 1,100, 1,200. Every year he was 100 catches. Tony didn't have a lot of touchdowns. So that's why I think it comes in for Travis Kelce.
Get to the biggest part of the game last night to me. And
I just want to say one last thing.
Yeah, sure.
I loved that game last night.
I know you did.
I can't get enough of that game last night.
You're going to watch that on the Wednesday replay.
I will watch it again. Well, I have it on my DVR, so I'll watch it again. I just so freaking good.
I love the kind of fan you are of the National Football League. It doesn't get any better than that. I don't think I've ever rewatched a game, like random game. Not Lions.
I tell you, COVID was the best time for me because
says no one ever.
Well, I was home and everybody was home. That's what I mean. We were all locked in, couldn't do anything.
Just watching football.
And they replayed all the old games. It's a baseball games. Like I just can't get enough.
Man. That's so good.
I'm sick.
You've turned me back into a sports fan. Like before we started working together last year, I was a sports fan, but I'm the type of guy I can go to the bar, watch games on Sunday, not really pay attention, go home, maybe watch Monday Night Football, maybe watch half of Sunday Night Football. Like now I'm locked and loaded. And also, you got me back in baseball.
I know.
So I appreciate you.
I'm proud of you.
Absolutely. Four games today. And
4-1, by the way. The Fighting Phils over Atlanta.
Look at that. Phillies over the defending World Series champs right now. That game going on. I want to say this because I have a strong opinion on this. Why go for 2 last night? This was the biggest moment in the game, I believe. Davante Adams scores what many people believe is the game-tying touchdown with just under 5 minutes to play in the game.
4:32.
Not a second to go in the game. Like 4.5 minutes to go in the game. And instead of kicking the extra point and playing it out and tying it up, you go for 2 and you lose by 1, 30-29. What happened to the kicker in the National Football League? Why even have a kicker?
They got the second best kicker in football, Daniel Carson.
Once they moved the extra point back, all hell broke loose. Kickers started missing those extra points, started missing field goals. Kickers more than ever, they're inconsistent. Now, I'm not blaming that for this reason. This is what I will say about last night and the decision of Andy Reid but Josh McDaniels to go for the 2. I have been hating the going for 2 all the time, or the analytics people. The book says. Well, the book said this ain't Vegas. We ain't betting on blackjack. This is the NFL. I actually wasn't too perturbed as I usually am with that decision, because in my mind, the biggest decision I was mad at is they didn't go for it on 4th and 1 before the half to really put the pressure on the Kansas City Chiefs. If you go for it on 4th and 1, get that first down, as opposed to those 3 points, you're looking at a whole ball game coming out of the half. That's the one that I say, you know what? You want to show me that you don't have any, that you're trying to get a game, and you want to, you don't have anything to play for what you do. Okay. Well, be consistent in your aggression. Like, that's my biggest thing. Be consistent in your aggression. Because if you look at what happens after they go for 2, they didn't get it. And I'm with you, Ryan, 100%. I would have definitely gone for 1. I'm getting the points. Put more pressure on Kansas City's offense. Make them beat you on the field. But it was 4:32 left. Your offense has been playing really good. Derek Carr has been finding Davante Adams. Josh Jacobs has been running the ball exceptionally well last night. You know what? If you want to take a chance because you're trying to show your team you're fearless and you want to get a win in your division at Arrowhead, you know what? I get it. And you know who you're playing against. You know you're playing against Kelsey and Mahomes. I get that. But I lost my train of thought. It happens from time to time.
You're going to need the ball again.
Yeah. Here it is. I'm sorry. I came back. They went for 2. They didn't get it. 4 minutes and 32 seconds left. They got the ball again. Davante Adams, if he catches that pass clean on the sideline, they kick a field goal and win the game. If Hunter Renfrow goes under Davante Adams as opposed to try to go over him, Davante Adams would be wide open for a touchdown to win the game. So I look at it from that standpoint. You didn't go for it on 4th and 1 when you had a chance to really put your foot on the neck of the Kansas City Chiefs. But then you decide in the end to go for it with 4 minutes and 32 seconds left. Just be consistent in your aggression, because that play was open on the sideline. Davante Adams, he bobbles it a little bit, doesn't get 2 feet down. They're in field goal range. And then the play at the end of the game, he's wide open, streaking, butt naked to win the game if Hunter Renfrow doesn't collide. So I actually don't have a problem with that. It was more so the 4th and 1 before the half.
You're either down 1 or you're tied. I'd rather be tied.
Yeah.
You're tied. You have to. Yeah. Neil Rule got me before his show. And you know Neil, he comes to me and he's like, all right, Maz, you got that old man thinking, I know you wanted the 1 last night, right? I'm like, yeah, damn right I wanted the 1. Then he goes into this whole diatribe. You still got to stop him. I'm like, yeah, but if I stop him, I'm getting the ball back, and I'm playing with house money because I'm tied. I got overtime.
Yep, that's
in my
exactly
pocket.
right. That's exactly
all right.
right.
And then he argues, well, I'd rather not let the coin flip. I'm like, forget the coin flip. I'm going to win in regulation because I'm playing, like I said, with house money. I'm not worried about running out of time. I'll try a 60-yard field goal at the end of the game if I have to, because if I miss it, I'm still going to play. But this forced the Raiders to throw that play to Davante and Hunter Renfrow on the crossing pattern.
Yeah.
If they didn't need all those yards,
that's exactly right,
just take your time. You would have kicked the field goal and won the damn game.
I agree with you, and I said I would have taken the 1, but I don't necessarily have a super extreme problem with him going for 2 in that particular situation. The one thing that I will throw caution to the wind, though, is as we're watching these guys go for 2 more often, as we watch these guys try 4th down and 7s or 4th and 9s. Hell, Dan Campbell went for a 4th and 9. So as we're watching these guys try these plays, try to be aggressive, try to play on analytics, you got to also pay attention to other things. I'll give you an example. The Buffalo Bills lost to the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs last year at Kansas City, at Arrowhead, a tough place to play, and they couldn't have played any better. But if the Buffalo Bills wouldn't have risked so many opportunities last year. Now, remember, they lost 3 games.
They would have been home.
Now you get where I'm going, Matt. And think about Brandon Staley. If he
wasn't
make the
so playoffs.
Good, there you go, Matt. You took the words out of my mouth. So that's the one thing they should be mindful of.
I want to talk more about this. Also, Davante Adams' key play at the end of the game, after the game. What's happening with that? But first, a message from Cintron.
Cintron is the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. And now, for a limited edition, you can pre-order your limited edition 6-pack. That's right. There are 3 flavors: the cranberry, the classic, and the sugar-free. They're limited time right now. 6 box. Go to CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. We have teamed up with them, and we, meaning MobileSports.com, teamed up with Cintron so that we can help re-energize the city of Detroit, be it the Tigers, the Lions, the Pistons, and the Red Wings. Join us, and let's re-energize the city.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Welcome back, WoodwardSports.com. Thanks to everybody who is in the Woodward Sports chat. Tell a friend about Woodward Sports. We are having fun. Thanks for making us part of your day. The problem I had with going for 2, talking about Monday Night Football last night, Chiefs beat the Raiders 30-29, is again, Mass, I think you hit the head. You hit the nail on the head because it's not the final play of the game.
No.
And I understand, you know what, you're on the road, you got one play to win it. I understand that.
Go ahead and do that then.
But
at the end of the game.
Absolutely. Your defense needs to come up with a stop anyway. Because either they're going to kick a field goal or they're down 1 or you're tied, whatever the case. Your defense has to come up huge for you. You're going to get the ball back. And again, it's just a way at the end of the game, Braylon, to me, that the way the Raiders played that final 2.5 minutes of the game is completely different if you're tied than if you are behind. And I just, you fought back on the road. I just don't think these coaches, whatever the reason, are not putting their team in the best position to win these football games for whatever reason.
Analytics.
Maybe the scope of the moment is too big for a lot of these assistant coaches that finally get to make the final call. Because if you're a player on that team, Braylon, are you happy you're going for 2? Or because if you don't get it, you screwed us. And if you get it, you look like a genius. I guess you're always up for second guessing.
Yeah, I mean, and once again, I said I understand both sides of the equation. I don't actually have a problem with Josh McDaniels going for that moment. You're at your division rival's home. You're in the division game. You're playing against a team. You're playing well on offense. Maybe the best that you've played all year in terms of running the ball with Josh Jacobs, in terms of Derek Carr and Davante Adams finding some rhythm. You had things going for you. Not to mention, outside of throwing the ball to Kelsey had 4 touchdowns, but he only had 25 yards. So that's all red zone work that they had going on there. Patrick Mahomes didn't look like a world beater on offense last night. He's Patrick, but he didn't like a world beater. So if I'm Josh McDaniels, I'm saying, you know what? If we go for 2, put more pressure on them. Our defense is playing pretty good for the most part. Defense is playing pretty good. Davante Adams and Derek Carr are cooking. Josh Jacobs, we have 3 timeouts, mind you. We have 3 timeouts. Josh Jacobs is running well. You know what? You put a little pressure on him. I think you get the 2, and then maybe, you get a stop. So I understand both sides. But once again, you live by the sword, and you die by that same sword.
Here you go. You're down 1. You're the Raiders. If you kick the point, Kansas City, if they go down and kick a field goal, you could still go down and kick a field goal. Now you're down 1. If they kick a field goal, you need a touchdown to win. That's another reason that you don't go for the 2.
Fact.
I mean, come on, man. Stop looking at those freaking papers. You think his guy, the guy that taught him, Bill Belichick, would do that? No, he wouldn't.
Actually, in 2003 or 4, you remember that infamous that game when it was the Patriots versus the Colts, and Bill Belichick went for it when they were on their own 20. It was like 4th and 2, and he threw that pass to Kevin Falk.
I do remember
and
that.
Kevin Falk got stopped. That was on his own 20. We're not sitting here having this conversation if they complete the 2-point conversion, and then they end up winning the game because the defense was playing pretty decent at that time in the first.
I thought Jacobs got in at first.
I did too. That's what Derek Carr said. But so we're not having the same conversation. You're like, you know what? Sometimes you got to take chances in life. They're calculated, the good people, but you got to take chances because if they get 2, we're not having this conversation. Even though they didn't get it, if Davante Adams gets his feet in, they're going to kick a field goal and they're going to win that game. And then we'll be sitting here like, hey, you know what? It was a very aggressive move, but they were playing well. They trusted themselves, and their defense got the stop for them, and they came back, and then they got the field goal to win the game. That would be the conversation. But because it doesn't happen that way, because they don't get it on 2, and then because Davante Adams bobbles that ball, which he should have caught. Davante, number 1 receiver in the league. I'm not saying anything about him. How could you? But you got to catch it clean, then get your feet in. They win that game, and then even at the end, the crossing route was wide open too. They just collide. So on this particular one, I still would have kicked the extra point, but I don't have a problem with the aggression with that scenario.
I'm going to make give the horn. Get the horn.
It's a hot take?
Hot take.
Hot take alert. Hot take alert from Maz. Maz, hot take alert. Wait, hold on here, Maz. Can you catch us?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Oh,
Good
look at
sauce.
you. Look at you.
I never came out of the game.
Never came out the game.
There it is. The 1-4 Oakland Raiders will make the playoffs.
They're not even in existence anymore.
The Las Vegas Raiders at 1-4 will make the playoffs.
Hot take alert.
That was a good start to the hot take alert.
You know, it's so funny you said that because as Braylon, you can attest to this. Look, what do I have up right here? The Oakland Raiders schedule.
You do. The Las Vegas Raiders. You did it too.
Yeah. My next question to you guys both.
But
Maz, I'll start with you.
But Maz has a great number. Tell him the numbers on the Las Vegas Raiders.
Well, there's 4 1-4 teams that have made the playoffs. The latest in 2011. Let's go to JB for those teams. Go ahead, JB. Tell us those 4 teams.
Oh, I got you for sure, Maz. There have only been 4 teams to actually accomplish this feat. 1992, the Chargers. The 2002 Titans, as well as the 2002 Jets, and lastly the 2011 Broncos. So this feat hasn't been accomplished in about 11 years. So hopefully the Raiders can do that.
Raiders are going to make it happen.
Tim Tebow.
Yes, that was that Tim Tebow.
They lost
overtime.
4 games this year, guys, by
how many
14 points.
That's not a lot,
combined.
No.
This is a very good team, and they are ready to explode.
And you're talking about a team in week 1. They gave up 3 sacks to Khalil Mack and still only lost by 4. So
Had a chance.
And this is when the Chargers were at full strength. So a great team. You're talking about 4 points that game. Last night they were up. They had a chance to win that game. They are a good team. I don't trust them in the playoffs, but they are a good team that you start to get them.
You watch out.
All you gotta do is get 1 win.
Yeah.
All you do is get the first
I'm
one.
looking at this Raider schedule, and I'm like,
Jacobs is a stud this year.
Shot here? I mean,
They got a shot.
Texans, Saints, Jags, Colts, Broncos. The next 5.
They're
they'll be
winning.
the favorite.
They're winning all 5 of those, hands down.
Well, we can ask Damein Woody what his thoughts are on the Las Vegas Raiders. Also get into last night's game. What is going on with the Detroit Lions? How about the New York Football Jets? After Bray was this weekend and just turning it around in the National Football League. Why is it so hard here in Detroit? All that and more, but first a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. You see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 local monitoring. Make sure what is important to you, stay safe. Call this number right here, 1-800-STAY-OUT. That number again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey gang, it's Maz. For a limited time only, the all-new burgers and fries are at Big Boy. It's not just the Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. And how about those new burgers, the Burger Blue or the Chili Cheeseburger, and upgrade those fries. Chili cheese fries, nacho fries, baked potato fries, just do it all right now. Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
Thanks for being along with us, WoodwardSports.com. If you're in the Woodward Sports chat, we certainly appreciate that as well. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. Pleasure to be joined now by Damien Woody, 12-year NFL vet, played for the Lions, Patriots, Braylon's teammate with the Jets, two-time Super Bowl champ as well, now ESPN NFL analyst. Damien, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Doing fantastic.
I actually had a thought, D Wood, and thank you again for joining the show. Man, I was in Chatham on Saturday at 54 Main Bar and Grill. I was thinking about our days in Chatham. But do you remember when the very first time I met you? The very first time I met D Wood was at a glow lighting party. You know they do those pre-auto show parties, and I want to say Mary J. Blige, Kid Rock, and then Russell Simmons was the host. I was sitting right next to you and your beautiful wife. That was the very first time I met you. Brother had a smooth suit on. I knew that boy was talented. Remember that party?
You weren't bad yourself, dog. You weren't bad yourself, Bray. You were clean too.
Appreciate that, big guy. Appreciate that.
Hey, Damien, let me ask you, we were just talking about going for two last night, 4.5 minutes to go in the game, Monday Night Football. Raiders score a touchdown and elect to go for two. We are seeing this more and more and more instead of just taking the point. What is your take on last night's situation and then bigger picture, the direction of the NFL on this?
Well, we know that analytics is weighing heavily on the National Football League right now. And what I would say is I didn't have a problem with the Raiders going for two because they still had to stop the Kansas City Chiefs regardless if they tied it up or if they got the 2-point conversion. So I think in that moment you're on the road, your coach wants to try to take the lead. I have no problems with it at all.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, D-Wood, man. I was telling these guys, before we got on with you, I said, look, man, I said they went for two. I said because they knew they had 4 minutes, 32 seconds left. They had 3 timeouts. Kansas City hadn't necessarily been driving that whole game, not to mention Derek Carr and your boy Davante Adams have finally found themselves clicking and being on there. You want to steal a win. I want to get on the other side of the ball, though. I want to talk about Chris Jones. I want to talk about what we're seeing from the sacks that should be in terms of them protecting the quarterbacks a little too much. Talk about that as an offensive lineman. What do you see and why are the NFL acting like that from the referee standpoint?
Yeah, listen, I think a lot of this comes from the whole Tua Tagovailoa situation, the concussions. We saw back-to-back week, in a span of 4 days, actually, a scary sight that the NFL just doesn't want to see. And so I think the pendulum has swung too far, to the point where you can't even touch the quarterback. And this is coming from an offensive lineman. At the end of the day, you don't want to mess up the integrity of the game. And part of the game of football is the violence of the game. And so, whether you're talking about the Grady Jarrett sack or the Chris Jones sack, that like the NFL is going to have to revisit this, whether it be in season or sometime this off season, to kind of bring this thing back a little bit.
Yeah, I agree, man. It shouldn't be two-hand touch, but at the same time, people are coming to see Patrick Mahomes versus Derek Carr. They're not coming to see the other guys involved. But I just fear this, D-Wood, and I'm going to turn it over to Maz, is you're going to start seeing guys get scared to tackle quarterbacks, and it's going to end up looking like it did in the Super Bowl in 2008. Like they were trying to hold Eli up, play should have been blown dead, and he's able to sneak out of there and get a Hail Mary up to David Tyree. Like that's what you're going to start seeing, like guys being scared, like do I have him, do I have enough, and quarterback slipping out. I just don't want to see that.
Yeah, that's the last thing I want to see as well. Coaches always say you want your guys playing 100 miles an hour, and when you have plays like that happening during the season, guys become timid and they don't play as fast as you want them to play, and that could come at the detriment of your own team. So that's the last thing you want to see as a coach.
One of the things that we saw last night too, Davante Adams pushes a cameraman on his way out of the Arrowhead. On his way out of Arrowhead. I want to read to you one of the things that my cameraman at Fox 2, Jeff Holloway, said about this. He's been the Fox Lions photographer for 25 years. Right. This is what he said about this. Your reaction. He said, "I saw that. An unwritten rule is you never walk in front of a player as they walk on or off the field. The guy who got drilled was at fault, but didn't deserve to get drilled. I think he was trying to hurry and get that light stand down he was carrying somewhere and didn't see the player. Adams apologized. Game over." How do you see it?
Yeah, I always like when incidences happen, I try not to jump to conclusion because one thing that a lot of people do is people are quick to just judge, jury, executioner, people in the moment. And so what ended up happening was another camera angle came out today from the right behind Davante Adams. And what you see is Davante's walking on the field, and the dude literally just jumps, he literally walks right in front of him. And so think about this from a player's perspective. You just lost this game. Just a critical game against a divisional opponent on the road. And then you got this guy, you don't know who he is, that just all of a sudden just walks right in front of you. So your natural instinct is to, get people out of your space. You're emotional, tempers are high. And listen, I'm not excusing anything, but I'm telling you from a player's perspective, these are the type of things that go on right after a game you walking off the field.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I even take it a step further, just kind of piggybacking off what you said. When you lose in moments like this, like you said, you're in a daze, you're in a fog, you're frustrated. All you can see is the locker room, tunnel vision. Not to mention the guy comes out of nowhere. You know how it is. Like if somebody walk up, you can be in line at McDonald's. Somebody walk up too quick on your side, so everything cool? We're taught to react that way. But here's another caveat to it, D-Wood. Think about all these guys running on field, streaking now all of a sudden. You saw the guy last week with Bobby Wagner. He struck on the field. You saw the guy in the Super Bowl this year. You saw the guy in the Super Bowl 2 years. All these guys running on the fan. You don't know who's that guy, who's on the field, what he is, and you're not paying attention. So for to get suspended, hell no. This is definitely not a suspension piece. If you want to fine him $10,000, you know what? Okay, cool. But don't suspend him at all.
Hey, D-Wood.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, do you agree with that one? And then second part of that question, I would say is, does track record come into this thing at all, too? Because I think Davante Adams is widely viewed as one of the most respected men. Forget about football players. One of the most respected men in the game today. I think you have to take that into account here, too.
Absolutely. You take it all into account. Again, I explained, from a player's perspective right after the game. And then you factor in, okay, well, what type of person is this guy? And we all know, just, whether you're in the game or outside the game like we are, Davante Adams is one of the more stand-up guys that we have in our league. And so when you look at, everything in its totality, I agree with Braylon. Like, a suspension is definitely not warranted. Maybe a fine, but I can't imagine a suspension for that.
Not at all.
Hey, Damien, Tom Mazawey, thanks for joining us. Damein Woody, ESPN, of course, former Braylon teammate with the Jets and Patriots.
I was his teammate.
Yeah, you were his teammate, no question. But you were a Lion too, man. And you know what? The Lions got some love this year. Finally, they got on Hard Knocks. They became the most bet-on team to win the Super Bowl or to reach the Super Bowl, which was funny to us here in Detroit since they haven't been a champion since 1957. But besides that, you know all the jokes. Rebuilding since '57. They come out. They look really good against Philly. They play them tough. They beat Washington. They should have beat Minnesota. They scored 45 points against Seattle, and then they lose to Bailey Zappi and get shut out to their old coach, Matt Patricia. Where are you on Dan Campbell and the Lions?
Listen, I think that, when you're talking about changing a culture, it's hard. It's hard, man. And I think I like what Dan Campbell is doing in Detroit. Those guys are fighting. Those guys are scrapping and clawing and doing all those type of things. And I think there's a couple things. One, this team still needs pieces. They got a couple first-round picks. They need to continue to implement pieces, especially on the defensive side of the football. But again, man, when you're trying to change something that hasn't been going your way for years, it's like trying to turn the Titanic, man. It's just it's slow. It's hard. But I think Dan Campbell is the guy for the job. I think those guys are buying into it. I think this past week against New England was a setback, getting beat 29-0. When you have one of, if not the most explosive offense in the league, to get shut out on the road, that's a setback. But I still am a believer in Dan Campbell.
D-Wood, I want to do a mirror parallel with another team that you and I played for, and I was in attendance this past week when they beat the Miami Dolphins. Talk about how are the New York Jets 3-2? What is making them work in Robert Saleh in year 2?
Yeah, listen, we talk about, in that same vein I talked about with the Lions, the Jets have a lot of really good young talent. A lot of really good young talent, whether you're talking about, the second-year quarterback in Zach Wilson, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Sauce Gardner. Like, they have a plethora of young, explosive talent. But here's the thing that the Jets are doing very well. The Jets are playing very well in the fourth quarter. They're leading the league. They're leading the league in point differential in the fourth quarter. They're leading the league in scoring in the fourth quarter. They're playing their best ball when it matters the most in the fourth quarter. And with a young team, with that many young players that are playing, man, you got to give a lot of kudos to Robert Saleh and getting those guys playing for 4 quarters.
Hey, Damien, thanks so much for doing this, man. Just last question. Do you have that Lions jersey anywhere, or is that in the basement in a trunk somewhere? I see some jerseys back there.
That's funny as hell. That's funny as hell. I do have my Lions jersey here. You can't see it. Cap.
But yeah, I do have my Lions jersey here.
All right, great. Damien, thanks, my man. We appreciate it, buddy.
Flag on the play. Flag on the play.
Hope to talk to you again down the road.
Yo, Woody, always appreciate you coming on, brother.
Thanks, Damien Woody, a 2-time Super Bowl champ, New England Patriots, and then, of course, played 4 years here with the Lions, Braylon's teammates, with the Jets, back-to-back AFC Championship games. That is funny. I saw those jerseys back there. I'm like, where's that Lions jersey?
It's buried under a bunch of socks somewhere. Hey, man, we forgot to ask him. Damien was on that team when Bill Belichick went for it on 4th and 2 on the 20. He was on that team. Always good to have my brother. Always very
Wish
insightful.
we could have kept him longer.
Very insightful. But, the 2 things that I took from that, and maybe we'll wait till we get back
to do it next.
Yeah, let's wait.
Let's do it next. I want to hear your 2 pieces of that, and then I want to get more in-depth on this Davante Adams situation, because I think it's a big conversation piece today.
The Photog has put in a little call to the police, too. We'll tell you about that.
Yeah, we'll tell you about that.
Good call,
police report. But first, a message from Custom Health Centers. Is it time to get back to your fighting weight, Tom Mazawey?
Hell yeah.
You know it. You know what time it is. Feel like summer packed on? A few 2 pounds? Well, a few too many. I mean, all
many
those,
summers and many pounds.
Custom Health Centers takes the willpower out of the weight loss. Whether you need to lose 20 or 120 pounds, Custom Health Centers will help you do it quickly and safely. All you got to do is check it out right here. CustomHealthCenters.com. CustomHealthCenters.com. Give them a call. 844-789-THIN. 844-789-THIN. Tom Mazawey and I might have something up our sleeve with this, too. Ooh. Maybe a little weight loss challenge.
Hey.
Weight loss challenge.
Honky.
Uh-oh.
I got you.
We're going to do it safely, though, with Custom Health Centers. We'll talk to you in about 1 minute from now. We'll be back. Woodward.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
WoodwardSports.com. Thanks for being along with us. If you want to share your comments, get into the Woodward Sports chat. We certainly appreciate that. Just had a conversation with Damein Woody. First off, Bray, let me come to you.
Yeah.
2 pieces that you wanted to pull out of the Damein Woody interview.
Yeah, 2 pieces. I'm gonna start with this. The first thing is they're winning the fourth quarter.
The Jets.
Talking about the New York Jets. The New York Jets are winning the fourth quarter. You can say what you want to about the Lions being undermanned on the defensive side. They're not winning the fourth quarter. If they won the fourth quarter, beat Philly. They win the fourth quarter, you beat the Vikings. You win the fourth quarter. Well, you did win it against the Washington Commanders. You got to win the fourth quarter, and that's what the Jets are doing. The other thing he mentioned is their young players. They got abundance of talent, young players. Their GM, they haven't missed on this young talent. I mean, you look at Breece Hall. Breece Hall came out, arguably the number 1 running back.
Joe Douglas is hitting.
He's hitting it right now. Maybe back and forth between Breece Hall or K9. They get Breece Hall. Breece Hall was electric. He had over 180 yards total offense on Sunday. You look at Sauce Gardner. Many people thought Sauce Gardner was the best player in the draft. Many people said the Detroit Lions, hell, you know what? Okudah didn't work out. You should take a shot at him. I know that bridge is burned trying to draft a DB that high. He is balling out. He's having arguably the best year of any defensive player at a rookie status. You look at Garrett Wilson making plays, Elijah Moore making plays. You look at Vera Tucker, their lineman. He's played left tackle, right tackle, center, guard. He's only in year 2, and he's playing extremely well. They have their players that they've drafted in the first and second round, they've hit, and then also they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And no doubt about it, and that's a big reason why the Jets are 3-2 on the year, making waves in 2020.
I didn't have to look, Maz, for the guys that they drafted in the first round.
Yep.
Last year,
you knew right away.
You see where I was going. Last year, Ryan, the guy that drafted last year, the guys that drafted this year. When I went to the game, I didn't have to look. Nobody had to point out where Sauce Gardner was. Yeah. Nobody had to point and say, "Hey man, that's Breece Hall. That's the running back we drafted." Nobody had to put out Garrett Wilson.
Immediate contributors.
Like us, with the exception of Malcolm Rodriguez, you got to point out the guys that we drafted. Like, hey, where's this? And Penei Sewell. Yeah. But Malcolm Rodriguez is a 6th-round pick. He shouldn't be the guy I'm going to ask you to point out. It should be the other guys. We'll wait to see what happens with Jameson Williams. But they're hitting on their guys in the first and second round, and they're players.
The kicker is here, and I brought it up yesterday. Aiden Hutchinson was drafted 1.
Who?
Aiden Hutchinson, number 97. You might know him as number 97.
Hey, man, I ain't seen him in a while.
Put Jameson Williams on the side. But the second-round pick, Josh Pascal or Josh Pascal, however he wants to. Is it Pascal officially now? He was drafted to be a bookend with Aiden Hutchinson. So we have not seen Brad Holmes' plan come to fruition yet. Round 3, Kirby Joseph in the backfield. He started first game, didn't do too well. But again, a rookie out there, corner, safety, DB, whatever you want to position he wants to put him at. Melifuanu hasn't worked out really well.
Onzurike last year was
will never play.
Exactly.
He's done. So you look at Brad Holmes and say, yeah, he got a hit. He hit on Amon-Ra St. Brown. Great pick.
And perhaps Malcolm Rodriguez.
And for sure, Malcolm Rodriguez. But the other picks.
But you're not judged.
No.
You're not judged by the 5th, 6th, and 7th round.
You got to get the early 1 and 2. Yes.
You're judged by 1 and 2.
And his 2s have sucked so far.
Let me say this. I want to pick up this story if we could. Because Davante Adams, we cannot show you the push. I wish we could. We cannot. Go to our social media, Woodward Sports, on any of the different platforms, and we have it at woodwardsports.com as well. You can see the push from Davante Adams. This cameraman, essentially, holding a C-stand, which is a light stand, does not see Davante Adams, just darts right in front of Davante Adams, and Davante Adams pushes him, and he falls to the ground. This from Tom Pelissero now. Excuse me. You know what? Let me do this first. You're right. Let me do this first. Tom Pelissero from the Kansas City Police Department. A police report has been filed by a photographer against Raiders wide receiver Davante Adams alleging assault. Quote, the injuries are preliminarily thought to be...
Hold on. You've got to listen to this carefully, guys. You would think this man... just listen to what the wording is.
I can't wait.
Here we go.
The injuries are preliminarily thought to be non-life-threatening. Sorry. The victim is a photographer at the Chiefs-Raiders game. At the end of the game, he was pushed to the ground, causing injury. He made arrangements for private transport to the hospital for treatment, at which time he called police.
How much money does he make as a cameraman?
The injuries are preliminarily thought to be non-life-threatening. The incident will be investigated by our assault unit detectives. Upon completion, they will coordinate with the applicable city or state prosecutor to determine any applicable charges. He's not going to get charged. This guy's trying to get a money grab. But nonetheless, Davante Adams, with a rather beautiful apology that he wrote on Twitter. Sorry to the guy I pushed over at the game. Obviously very frustrated at the way the game ended. And he ran in front of me. As I exited, that was my reaction. I felt horrible immediately. That's not me. My apologies, man. Hope you see this. Davante Adams gets a pass. From me, Ryan Ermanni, however this wants to work out, Davante Adams gets a pass. I think if you see the video, the guy darted right out in front of him. Davante Adams is one of the great people in the game of the National Football League. He gets a pass, and that's where I leave it. He gets a pass, total and completely, no fine, no suspension. It's over. Ended with the apology.
What type of soft-ass world do we live in?
We live in a legal one. We live in a legal one.
Everyone's got their hand out.
Listen.
Look at the guy. Look at the first guy.
Hold on.
Last week he put a police report.
Okay, well, you know what? I don't necessarily have a problem with that police report.
Oh, I do.
Like, well, I mean, I have a problem with it, but in terms of it's not comparable to this one. Like, listen. You know how many reporters have been run over or cameramen been run over in the 100 years of North American professional sports? Mm-hmm. How many guys have been run over trying to get that shot, trying to get somewhere, a player not looking, him not looking? The only difference is Davante extended his arms, but that's an instinct. This isn't a Dennis Rodman kicking the photographer on the floor underneath the basket where he had an opportunity to make that decision, to choose malice against that cameraman. This isn't that. No. This is a guy in a moment, frustrated, and I'm not using that as an excuse, but I'm telling you, when you're in the zone, you can't see anything or feel anything. All you can see is tunnel vision, which is we just lost, and I'm trying to get to the locker room. Guy comes out of nowhere. Why did he run in front of Davante Adams? Like, why did he choose not to wait? He could have waited 2 seconds and went behind Davante Adams.
Maybe he didn't see him either.
And then it's an instinct thing. I told you, guys are running on the field nowadays, doing all type of stuff, whether it's a gender reveal or save this animal or save the world or whatever it is. Guys are running on the field, streaking and doing stuff. You don't know who's coming at you. You're just in the moment. Now in the NFL as a player, you don't know who's coming at you. So they got to stop. Now, he's not going to win that case.
No. Not only is it not going to be a case, there's no charges that are going to be brought. You can file a police report all you want.
Right. Doesn't mean it's a charge.
And I think the NFL, if for all parties involved, I think just to kind of get it out the way, but do a little $5,000. Like I would do a regular NFL fine, $5,000, which he can appeal anyway, and he'll appeal and get half of that. It just because of the extension. Now, had they run into each other, then we wouldn't be talking about this at all.
Right.
But just because there was a little bit of extension, you can't see that. You can't dispute that with video evidence. $5,000 for that. Let's get this party started.
Hey, look, I was coming in today, and I was going to say, you know what, Davante acted like a fool. But when Ryan called this camera guy, and the camera guy gave me the rule,
I was ready to come at you. I was ready to get into it.
That's fine. And when he told me the rules of the field, and if you went on with that, your man, go ahead, you could read it again.
Yeah, I'll read it again,
including the stake, please.
Yeah, okay. This is Jeff Holloway, 25 years on the sideline for us at Fox 2, doing the Lions games. 25 years on the sideline, bro. Witnessed some crazy stuff. An unwritten rule is you never walk in front of the players as they walk on or off the field. The guy who got drilled was at fault, but didn't deserve to get drilled. I think he was trying to hurry and get the C stand, which is the light stand he was carrying somewhere, and didn't see the player coming.
Facts.
Adams has apologized, but dude needs a steak dinner for that one.
That's all. He needs a steak dinner. So in other words, let's say maybe something broke on his camera or the light stand breaks. I think maybe Davante or the Raiders should take care of that, and I think they should say, go ahead.
No, the only question I have is, if you're
he's doing his job too, you know.
But he is, and he probably does it well. But if you're a cameraman or video man, videographer, or camera, whatever the technical word is, and for an NFL game, that means you're an NFL fan.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Not true.
Okay. That means, but you have some level of respect for the individuals, etc. How can you immediately go file a police report on this player that it was an accidental bang bang type situation?
Maybe his company told him to do it.
Why does your mind go to that place? Like, if my camera or my C-stand is broken, you know what I do? I reach out on behalf of the company I work for, which is NBC, or Fox, whoever the hell he works for, and I will reach out to the team, say, hey, I was a cameraman that got run into, I was a cameraman that got pushed. Look, I'm good, everything's fine. My camera broke. You know those cameras are expensive. You know, it's an $8,000 camera, or it's a $10,000 C-stand or whatever. I would just ask that he could, compensate me for that, and then keep the ball rolling. Not to mention, He ain't buy the camera no way. The company he works for bought the camera.
Well, I don't know about that
right.
either.
They all have their own equipment.
It's all different.
They're
now,
freelance guys hired by the NFL.
Yeah, these freelance guys are in a different boat. But I would say this.
He's a freelance guy. We know that.
We don't know. We don't know who he is.
If he was trying to set up a camera right at the tunnel, 9 times out of 10 he works for.
He's an NFL game day cameraman. Is how they what they said. So I'm not sure if he's hired by if he's hired as a freelancer or he works for NFL Films for all I know.
I guess the only thing I would say about this, and I do have some experience being down on the field for lots of college games, never really the NFL other than Super Bowl 40. Okay. Because I just never, Dan Miller, Jennifer Hammond, more than not cover the Lions aspect of it. But I was down there for a lot of college games, Michigan State. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know where to go and where not to go. Like, you know that. And you know when you can go somewhere and when you can't go somewhere. And I almost feel like security didn't do a good job on their end either, because usually for the tunnel,
they'll separate everybody.
Everybody and allow the players to get through. So that's an interesting one.
Especially in a visitor's place.
Exactly. Did he get through security there? I don't know.
But maybe the guy was in the zone and didn't pay attention, and maybe he was
clearly was not paying attention.
He wasn't paying attention. And neither was Davante. Because as you said, when someone comes up to you, hey, get away from me. So both of them are in the wrong. Can we go there?
Yeah, we can. I just don't understand the lawsuit.
It's not a lawsuit.
He filed a police report. Now it's up to the police to determine whether or not.
I'd rather him file a lawsuit than a police report. Why file the police report?
You need the lawsuit.
It's like getting in a car accident. You get in a car accident, you need a police report to get in a car accident.
Right.
This is very true, because I did knock the
It's very calculated.
You know who you should talk to?
I did knock the Browns boy out. When I did that, he did the same thing as I had.
I don't know. I was mad at Davante for what he did, but I was okay with them. He shouldn't have pushed them like he did. But after hearing you and Damien, I get your point.
Very good. Hey guys, I want to get into some Lions. Want to get into some NFL. Lots of college to talk about as well. Troy Aikman. We can do that next. I do want to get back
Rivera as well.
I want to get back on time.
That's a great subject.
I'm not even going to give you a tease. There's so much football we have to talk about. We'll do it next. But first, a message from Swiss.
Man, I love turkey and Swiss cheese sandwiches. Oh my God! But the Swiss that I love more is Swiss Insurance Group, man. Did you know that 1 in 6 kids will develop a medical condition that makes them uninsurable? It's terrible. Uninsurable for kids 1 in 6. Swiss Insurance can save you money on your auto, your home, resulting in no out-of-pocket fees to insure your child. Swiss Insurance Group is the place, man. My boy Mark over there does an amazing job. You got to get with him. You want to have the coverage? You want to protect yourself? Well, there's no better offensive lineman than my man and Mark at Swiss Insurance Group.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Welcome back to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz on a beautiful Tuesday, sitting here talking about this issue that is Davante Adams and the cameraman that he pushed on last night. Here's a good question though, Ryan and Maz. Does this guy file a police report if the guy that got hit by Bobby Wagner a week before didn't file a police report?
It's a great question. I do think it goes into I think that weighs in your mind, right? And look, a lot of people are just looking for a handout. At the end of the day, it's hard not to say that that's what this guy was doing. is just now he's looking for a handout? Because honestly, if you see the video, he gets pushed to the ground. He gets up in 2 seconds. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man.
It was embarrassing, though.
Is he embarrassed?
I don't know if it's embarrassing. The only reason I say that is because I've seen, and you can watch sports longer. But, Matt, how many times have we seen cameramen get hit with footballs and fall on the ground? How many times have we seen players...
They get run over.
I was just about to go there. How many times have we seen players run cameraman over?
But that's in-game.
And they drop the dish and they get... But I'm saying, but they get hit harder,
right,
is what I'm saying.
You're right.
With that. And then they get up smiling, everybody's okay, they wave to the camera, and then they get back to holding that dish thing that they do. For sound, I guess, I think that's what this for.
Parabolic mic.
There you go. Whatever,
I mean, what do you sue
you
for, though? Like, what do you sue for? Emotional distress? Embarrassment? Like, what's the lawsuit? You know, I mean, I understand the protester in Los Angeles, the Rams guy that hit Bobby Wagner. Look, that's a guy looking for trouble.
Yeah.
Right off the bat. He's throwing pink smoke. He runs out on the field during a game. He's looking for trouble. He's looking for notoriety for his whatever his cause is, whatever it is.
They also teach you to keep your hands to yourself.
Right. No doubt. So, but this guy's just there doing his job. I believe I would have a much different reaction if that was me in that case. I would want to believe that I just don't run to the friggin' police or say, oh, no, my back hurts. Oh, I need medical attention right away.
Maybe he is hurt.
Really, man?
I don't know.
Really, man?
I'm just throwing it out there.
I mean, you're almost trying to give...
What did Kurt Herbstreit say? Nope.
You almost want to give somebody the benefit of the doubt because you can't imagine. Yeah. You can't fathom doing that in real life.
I wouldn't.
Right?
I mean, I'm different, but I just mindset.
You just can't do it. Do I keep shrinking, by the way? I keep shrinking.
The seat keeps lowering.
I really need to maybe lose some weight because I am in this seat and I just keep getting short.
Or we need to buy our own chairs.
No, I'm not buying it. Are you crazy?
You want to file a police report? No. Say the chair assaulted you?
Right, yeah. No doubt about it. Guys, going to take a break. Going to come back. I want to get into the NFL. We've got a lot to get to. Troy Aikman under fire.
For no reason.
I mean, come on. What world are we living in?
Braylon had to call me last night to calm me down. At 12:30 at night.
I called Matt after that.
What world are we living in?
Oh, my God. I want out.
We'll tell you why.
Oh, my God.
We'll tell you why. But first, a message from SMA.
The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health as well as addiction. Their podcast, this is the S word, and the S word stands for stigma because we are trying to destigmatize addiction. We are trying, because it is a disease. It is a disease, and we are trying to destigmatize mental health, trying to give you the information and provide you with the knowledge that you or someone that is suffering with this needs. Sean Jordan does an amazing job with SMA and the platform that they have. TheSportsMA.com, all type of conversations, all type of information that you can get as it relates to anxiety, depression, mental health, postpartum, PTSD, trauma care, all those things. Go to TheSportsMA.com.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Hey everybody, JB here
Big
to tell you
Frog.
about Big Frog. They are giving you a chance to have a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog in Novi. Just stop in today and tell them we sent you, and they will hook you up and print you up one right on the spot. So stop in today at Big Frog in Novi, or check them out online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
What was that face you just made?
It was, yeah. We're working with my guy Stick on the chair here.
I heard one of your favorite sayings yesterday.
Which is?
Fugazi.
It's a fugazi.
And the context that they were using it in was the Lions' first round pick this year.
He's a fugazi. It's a great word, man.
I love it.
You can appreciate it.
It's a Sopranos word.
Yeah. WoodwardSports.com, Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. We got Fletch. We got JB.
Hey, what's that Brave score?
6-1, fighting Phils.
Three RBI
In
for
the
Nick
fourth.
Castellanos.
Nick Castellanos.
There's a person for you.
Nick Castellanos.
Now, he would have pushed the cameraman
Who used to call him Castellanos?
I don't know. We all did. We all changed his name.
What a gem he was, Nick Castellanos.
He wanted to be Nicholas one year, Nick
God.
another year, Castellanos, then Castellanos.
I never liked that guy.
He's a really, really good hitter.
He's a good
Bad
player.
fielder.
Yeah.
Good hitter.
Never liked that guy.
I get it.
I don't not like too many people.
I don't know about that, man.
Well, there's a few.
I like Troy Aikman.
Love Troy Aikman. Let's get into it.
I know Braylon don't like him, but I love him.
Love Troy. Well, I got Troy Aikman's back on this.
I do too.
This makes me like him more.
You do realize that
I know.
And Patrick Mahomes passed Troy Aikman in career passing
I saw that.
touchdowns yesterday.
So does that make him an automatic
in
Hall
only
of Famer?
5 years, by the way.
I
I'm
see
just throwing
that.
that out
Does
there.
that make him a Hall of Famer now? Patrick Mahomes?
100%.
Well, he's definitely in there.
Okay, so Troy Aikman under fire this morning and all day today. Here's the comment that he made. He said, as it relates to all of the roughing the passer penalties, can we just take the dresses off? Can we just take the dresses off?
Well, read exactly what he said.
My hope is the NFL Competition Committee looks at this in the next set of meetings and, we take the dresses off. What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
In what world are we living in where that is unacceptable to say?
I guess this freaking world. Because the people that have wrote in, even guys like Mike Freeman, who writes for the NFL, and I think he writes for USA Today, and he's like, can we not, what's the word? What's the?
Misogyny. Misogynistic comment.
Misogynistic comment. Can we do without the misogynistic comment? Can we do without the dress comment? Why do you even give a damn?
Here's
what he's saying. There's no women that are playing in the game. It's beyond me how that what he said is a hurtful thing. If it's hurtful, please don't watch the sport anymore. Please.
Yeah.
It's got to be. Are these people wearing masks in convertible cars driving outside as well?
That's funny as hell.
I mean, come on. Is it you?
That was a very nice hit, by the way. That comment, that phrase has been used forever. Pull your skirt down. They've used that years and years and years, whether it's on the golf course, whether it's in. The reason why I support Troy on this is, until you show me a female on an NFL roster, I have no problem with this conversation. Like at the end, I know women that are tough enough. They laughed at this comment. It's the people that it doesn't even bother that are the ones coming out talking
every
about
time
it. It's not the women that are like, oh, why do you got to talk about women and wearing dresses? Like, they're tough. They're tougher than these individuals. It's cancer culture, just for no reason. Like every time I go to the golf course, and if I miss a shot from the tee box and I dribble it out, maybe a drive, and it only goes 45 feet because I topped it or something like that, what does the guy behind me or the guy in my group say, damn, you gonna hit today, Brenda? That comment has been used forever, and it's fun. It's no big deal. No one is disrespecting women. I have 2 mothers, I have 2 sisters, and I have a niece and 2 grandmas I love. I'm a mama's boy. I know how to be respectful to women and non-misogynistic. So for me to say that there's nothing wrong with this comment, it comes from a place of love for women.
You almost have to push back
Sometimes,
where you could push back. Now, You know, if he was out here saying, "Hey, let's not get our
our panties in a bunch.
Juice's ghost. Don't get your panties in a bunch." Like, I can understand that. Probably would be a little bit too far in today's day and age. I wouldn't have a problem with it, but I can understand where somebody would be like, "Ew." But I mean, come on. Ladies, take the. He doesn't even say ladies. Can we take the dresses off here? Meaning, this is like touch football. This is not the National Freaking Football League anymore, where you can't recover a fumble without it being a pass interference. There was a fumble last night.
Yeah. I hope to God he doesn't have to apologize for this.
We'll know where big corporations are, especially Disney, if they make him. Right?
And, and Disney is very prevalent on that era that is the LGBTQIA plus, the support of women.
They don't even say, when you go to Disney World, they don't even say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. They don't say that anymore. No, they say welcome to Disney World.
Welcome all.
Welcome all.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It is what it is. What I'm telling you is, as I sink even further in this chair, what I'm telling you is...
I just noticed that.
What I'm telling you is this.
He's like sitting down on the ground.
What I'm telling you is this. You cannot and should not have to apologize for saying take the dresses off.
There is some adapting that we have to do to the new world. Okay, there is adapting that we have to do.
Fine.
And that's where I was going. As it relates to being insensitive to people's thoughts, preferences, whatever that is, there are adaptations that we have to make, and rightfully so. But there are some that I'm not, like that is not one of them.
No.
Him making that comment shouldn't be along the line of adapting to this new world and insensitivity.
And honestly, if you were watching that game last night and you saw a roughing the passer penalty on Chris Jones during a fumble, by the way, you know what you're saying? What are we doing here, guys?
Yeah.
Why even have full pads on?
It's the toughest sport in the world in terms of physicality, roughness, toughness. You watch the game to see people get drilled.
Chris Jones had the ball. He owned the ball.
Nope. 15. Roughing the passer.
Now, look, take us to our next thing. The NFL now will step up and discuss the roughing the quarterback calls.
Yeah, but again, this is going to be after the season, right?
You heard Damien. Maybe in season.
And they should do it
in
season.
Why not just review it?
I'll tell.
How about that?
Here, I have a solution. You ready for my solution to all these roughing the passer penalties? No, I know. But you have to review it. It should be reviewable. But you should not let the officials on the field review it. It should go, like the NBA, to a command center in New York. Take it away from the officials on the field. Because remember, when you used to be able to review PI, pass interference penalties, the referee didn't want to show up his buddy on the field and reverse those calls. Those PI calls, pass interference penalties, were never reversed. Ever. Maybe like one or two in the entire season. It was something so crazy low. So if you're going to do this, you're not going to want to show up anybody. You have to take the call out of the hands of the officiating crew on the field, send it to New York to some command center, and let them decide.
And the biggest reason why is, Ryan and Maz, these calls are potentially affecting outcomes of
7-point swing last night.
If
people's money
is
on the line.
The Falcons might have beat Tampa Bay.
They were on their way.
They were on their way to beating. Instead, they lose the game, and the same thing happened with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Raiders. I.e., the Raiders still came back and won the game. Lost the game, so it didn't matter. But it could have. Come on, you guys got to do better. NFL has to do better, and it's on them because we know they're trying to protect the money. The money is the quarterbacks. People tune in to watch the quarterbacks. People tune in to watch big gaudy numbers. People make bets off touchdowns and stats and yards. So they're trying to protect that. Also on top of Tua last week. But the problem with Tua was it wasn't the hit where the issue was with Tua. The issue was how Tua was handled by the medical staff after the hit.
People tune in for all those reasons, Bray, but they also tune in because they want to see a football game.
It's true.
And right now what you're seeing is not a football game. And whether it was the Tom Brady roughing the passer penalty on Sunday, whether it was Jarrett, whether it was last night It's not football. Remember when Calvin Johnson caught that pass against the Bears? We all saw him catch it. We all knew that he caught that touchdown. But then the NFL told you that wasn't a catch.
They have way too many rules.
That the NFL told you that wasn't a catch.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like we know that was a sack fumble last night.
Yeah.
We know it was a sack fumble and the Chiefs recovered. But
Remind me of the play last year with Michigan State.
Right. Now the NFL is telling us, no, your eyes did not see what you know you saw.
So you gonna believe us or your lying eyes?
Exactly. Like, no, that's not a sack fumble. Okay, I don't know what kind of game I'm watching right now. When you have people confused over what they're watching, you're kind of losing.
They better be careful. There was a parody on South Park. Maybe I used to be a big South Park guy. There was a parody on South Park where the parents were saying that the game was too hard, it was too physical, they didn't want to do it. So they came up with this game called Sarcastaball, where they were playing two-hand touch with balloons. The NFL better be careful, because right now it's starting to look like Sarcastaball.
Guys, I got to do it. I don't want to do it. We're having a good day, but we're going to do it anyway. We're talking Lions next.
Ron Rivera, too.
and Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera handling his quarterback situation a little bit differently. We'll get to all of that next. But first, a message from the Folding Warehouse.
In Hamtramck, a great game, football and bowling, 2 ways to play it. $12 unlimited open play or a private lane reservation for $120. Get it for 2 hours. Get 10 or 12 people on a lane. And order any drink you want, multiple full bars at the Folding Warehouse. And you got any beer you want, over 100 they have to offer, and the $2 mystery beer machine. You can bring your own food in or even have it delivered. Get your fold on. Check them out at foldingwarehouse.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You can get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. What will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Hey everybody, JB here, letting you know about Planet Fitness. For just $1 down, you can have a Planet Fitness membership for $10 a month from now until October 14th. So you have to act fast on this. But also, I'm here to let you know that Woodward Sports is broadcasting live from Planet Fitness on Ryan Road in Sterling Heights all day Wednesday, October 26th, which we are giving away a few prizes that you might be interested in. Hopefully you are. But we got the MSU and U of M tickets, which also comes with 1 free year of the Black Card membership, a signed Darren McCarty jersey as well, and also Mr. 17 himself, a signed Braylon Edwards jersey. So join in club today or check us out at planetfitness.com.
I'm talking Lions, talking NFL. You know, we said yesterday, or we played it for you, Dan Campbell kind of calling out Jared Goff, saying it's unbelievable, never seen anything like it. You know, the turnover, pick six touchdown last week, and then the other day, the fumble touchdown. You can't keep giving the other team 6-7 points. And Ron Rivera did that as well. Pretty much called out Carson Wentz and then apologized. But here's the initial soundbite.
Why do you think the teams in the division are farther ahead at this point?
Quarterback.
Chose the quarterback here, though. So do you have any regrets about that, or how do you?
No, I got no regrets about that quarterback. I think our quarterback has done some good things. There's been a couple of games that he struggled.
My thoughts on it are this. Okay, you never call out a player like that. You never single out a player, especially if you yourself are not doing the best job coaching. Especially if you yourself, because we're told not to call our coaches out to the media. So you can't call out players unless you really, really have an issue with an individual. I didn't like it. And obviously he realized that he went back and made a retraction, etc. But the thing I don't like about it the most, he's wrong. They asked him, why are the teams in the NFC East having so much success this year, taking that step further? And
I think we have that.
And no, we do. But I mean, it was, yeah. So he was asked that, and he said the quarterback. And that's not true, because the Dallas Cowboys, they're not winning because Cooper Rush is some great quarterback. They're winning because the defense is insane right now. They're winning because they're running the ball, and he's just playing a part in that. If you look at if you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they're not winning because Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFL. They're winning because they got the best complete roster in the NFL. They arguably have the best two cornerbacks in terms of a tandem, best D-line, the best O-line, the best rushing attack, the A.J. Brown, Davante Smith. They're winning at the whole of the equation. And if you look at the Giants ain't winning because of Daniel Jones. The Giants are winning some games where Dayball is putting them in good positions. They're sneaking wins, and Saquon Barkley is playing well. So the thing I didn't like about the answer is when he said, well, the quarterback. No quarterback in that division is out here just being a world beater. Now, Jalen Hurts is in the MVP candidate conversation. That's because the team as a whole is so damn good.
So he pretty much called out Carson Wentz. And
it was a lazy take.
Yeah, and he said... his comments were out of line. I actually talked to Carson this morning. In fact, I talked to the whole team. I had a mea culpa moment, and that I should know better. I created a little bit of a distraction, and that's the one thing I try not to do. It's the one thing I'm very aware of. Again, it's one of those things when you misstep, people can dive into, and jump onto it and hold onto it without an opportunity to explain yourself. So, hey, that's on me. I should know better. You know, people get... This is a really tough business, man. Show me a good coach, and I'll show you a good quarterback. Show me a bad coach, and I'll show you a bad quarterback. There are very few times there are coaches win with bad quarterbacks. Very few times. Not, 0% of the time, but it is very few.
I understand that, and I agree with you, but at the same time, if you're going to be a good coach, which nobody is accusing Rivera of being a great coach. Now, he's a serviceable coach, yes. But if you're going to be a coach and you're going to struggle, currently, Ryan, what are they? They're 1-4.
Yep.
What did they do last year? They went 6 games last year, 7 games?
I don't remember.
What did Rivera do the year before that? Limped into the playoffs? What did he do the year before that with Tyler Heineke? Nothing. What did he do at his last couple years after the Super Bowl with the Carolina Panthers with the Super Bowl? After that, what has he done since then?
I was just going to show you, though. You're making my point for me. What did he do in Carolina when he had the MVP of the league at quarterback?
Drop a turd in the Super Bowl.
But again, went to the Super Bowl. I wish I was so fortunate to drop a turd in the Super Bowl, by the way. You'd have to win a playoff game in order to do that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody thought the guy could coach when he's got the MVP of the league at quarterback.
Ryan.
You don't have a quarterback, you can't coach.
Nobody told you to go get Carson Wentz.
No. That's it.
You made that decision. Now, whether it was the front office as a collective and maybe they say, hey, we're bringing this guy in. You're just going to have to coach him. Nobody told you to get Carson Wentz. You knew what you had coming into the season. You saw what he did against the Jacksonville Jaguars at the end of the game, the end of the season last year, and failing to get to the playoffs. You saw what he's done every year since he got hurt with the Philadelphia Eagles. Don't get mad at him, especially if you've struggled in the last 8 years yourself as a coach.
Listen, man.
7, excuse me.
What do you do if you're Carson Wentz? Your buddy, Coach Frank Reich, guy who helped draft you to the Eagles, goes to the Colts, brings you over, goes out of his way and says, you got to sign this guy. And the Colts fail. So they make him the scapegoat. They send him out of the way. Washington signs him this year. Where do you go when now he's in Washington and this coach is crapping on him?
Man, it's easy.
How do you feel? I know he's cashing a check.
That's easy.
I know that, but go ahead.
You appreciate the fact that you're still a QB1 in the NFL playing the way that you've played. You still are appreciative of that moment. And to be honest, you better just be quiet and try to find some wins. You better find a way. Because Carson Wentz is a nickel throw from being a Mike Glennon. being a backup quarterback in the NFL, you're not going to get another crack at starting after this season if it's a terrible one, and then he goes in next year and plays back. He's not going to be a QB1 anywhere. He will be on the bench like Matt Schaub was for the Atlanta Falcons all those years with Matt Ryan.
Matt stumped the Schaub?
100%. He will be that guy making $25 million a year, and his claim to fame.
It's a great example.
His claim to fame. Yo, you know what? We were 11-2 when I went in there. I got hurt. We go to a Super Bowl through Nick Foles. We got a ring. That ring is partly mine. Enjoy that ring and keep your mouth quiet, because there's no way he should make anything over $25 million. I would say, you know what? Be happy that you're still a QB1 in this league. Much like Ron Rivera should be happy that he's still an HC in this league.
I need that horn.
Another one?
Yep, give me the horn.
Man.
Oh, man.
Give me the horn.
Let me see if I can get one of my
You
mic.
can catch, but can you throw?
Man's with the moss.
Let me do it to Ryan.
2 in 1 day?
Ron Rivera is the next head coach fired in the NFL.
Ooh. I see it.
It's over. It's over.
Yeah.
But who's running the show there? In
They're a mess.
You talking about the S show?
Yeah. He might stay under the radar because it's so bad there.
I know,
but it's bad there.
They may not fire him
because they don't know he's there.
Because
they don't know who.
They don't know who the hell's doing what.
Who's gonna fire him?
And that's what I was about to say. They're not gonna fire him because that means that Daniel Snyder has to come out of hiding and be seen. They're like, whatever cave he's hiding in right now with Wi-Fi,
his wife
he doesn't
will come
want
out.
to leave
That is so funny, man. But it does now again. It does just highlight how sensitive these coaches are and how the magnitude of that quarterback position is, man. Look at Andy.
Hey, man, you sound like Dan Campbell.
Well, look at Andy Reid, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got Donovan McNabb, and then you got Alex Smith, essentially, and then Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you are just totally lucked out.
You forgot one. Mike Vick
in Philadelphia as well.
Hey, that 2010 season, that was a magical season for the Eagles, man.
Hey, what did I text you last night during the Chiefs game at one point?
I don't remember.
I texted you. Look at Andy Reid coaching up Patrick Mahomes on the bench. He's sitting next to Patrick Mahomes, coaching him up. I don't know. Does Dan Campbell coach up Jared Goff? Does Ron Rivera coach up Wentz? I'm just saying, Andy Reid is a phenomenal coach.
To coach somebody up, you got to be able to coach. Dan Campbell don't know nothing about being a quarterback, so he's not going to sit down next to Jared Goff and coach him up. Those guys, Andy Reid is an offensive genius.
Yeah.
He is a wizard. So he actually is telling him how it should look in his offense. Very different than Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell is just a head coach motivator, if you will.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. And again,
but desperate coaches throwing their quarterback under the bus. One here in Detroit and over there in Washington. And Matt Rule.
It's a deflection.
And Matt Rule before that in Carolina.
You know what I'd like to see?
It's a deflection. Hey, man, look, if I throw this name out there, if I point to another position, maybe they'll stop looking at me and thinking it's my fault.
Speaking of the Lions and Dan Campbell, you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to, and maybe it's happened already, we just don't know it. I'd like to see Dan Campbell lob a call off to Sean Payton, who, according to Dan Campbell, taught him everything he knew over 5 years. If that's the case, he knows a lot. I'd call him and say, Sean, what am I doing wrong here? Take a look at this thing.
How do you know he hasn't?
I don't. That's what I said. What am I doing?
Because he's 1-4.
Yeah. You know, what am I doing wrong here? Can you come here, spend a couple of days with me during the bye, and just assess everything that we're doing? I think that would be one of those moments that can really kind of turn a season around, perhaps. Maybe if there's one thing that Sean Payton could look at and say, this I would do a little bit differently, because he knows all the players here. He knows Dan Campbell. He knows Aaron Glenn. These are your two biggest kind of deficiencies, the defense and the head coach, really. Yeah. Can you come in and just kind of look at a couple of things over the next week? Would you do that for me? Not saying that hasn't happened, but I would love to see that phone call made and use the people that you trust.
After starting 1-4, Dan Campbell was probably blocked on Sean Payton's phone. No, but just thinking about that, That's a great conversation to have. That's something great that Sean Payton and he could talk about, give him some insight. Because we understand the defensive side of the ball as it relates to the lack of talent. You're waiting to get some more picks. Maybe Pascal comes in and maybe he's a player, et cetera. Maybe Kirby Joseph is a player. So you don't know, but you need talent on that side. But that's not why we're blaming Dan Campbell, and that's not where we're pushing back on Dan Campbell. We're pushing back on his decision making. He's not an X's and O's guy. Everybody knows that. He's not an offensive guy that can be a wizard like Andy Reid. He's not a defensive mind guy who's breaking down defenses like Eric Mangini. He's just a guy that uses words like grit, motivation, determination, and heart. But that only gets you so far. You can't win too many games with grit and heart alone. You gotta have some players, and you gotta make smart decisions in game. The big problem I believe that the fans of the Detroit Lions have with Dan Campbell is his in-game decision-making sucks.
Listen, man. I can't believe I did that, but I did a listen, man. This thing on, by the way?
Yeah, it is.
Because I'm not hearing myself anymore.
Totally.
Okay, good. Back in 83, I'll take you back to my old Giant days.
I was born in 83,
You
baby.
were born in 83. And Bill Parcells put up a 3-12 in one season with the Giants. And they were after his ass, okay? They called Howard Schnellenberger. Remember him?
I remember
Miami, the U.
Under Bill Parcells' nose that year, they called him, George Young called him, the GM of the Giants, and he's like, we want you to come here and take over the Giants. Thank God Schnellenberger said, no, I'm going to stay at Miami right now. Parcells got a stay of execution, put Phil Simms in as quarterback, and won 9 games the next year. They could have fired Bill Parcells. You never probably would have known about him after a 3-win season. Can we give this guy who tutored under Bill Parcells this year to show and coach for his job and show us that last week's game was a fluke? Can we do that?
He signed a 6-year deal and is ingratiated by Sheila Hamp, who now I may have to add the forward back to her because it looks like she might have made a mistake on the coach. But he has a 6-year deal. Like, they are in bed together, metaphorically. They are in bed together. She's not getting rid of Dan Campbell after this season. She's just not going to. I promise you that. But to your point, that clock is ticking a lot faster than it was ticking before the season started. That ticker's on. If he finishes this season with anything 3 and less, he's got 4 games next year. I promise you that.
I forgot to tell you guys this. Do you want me to wait on the reason he didn't kick the field goal on 4th and 9?
I want you to wait. I got to get to a break. I want to
4th and 9. And I'll tell you why.
You'll hear from the head coach as well next. But first, a message from Les Stanford. It is no secret that new cars are hard to come by, but they are available at Les Stanford. Got to make a plan. Allocation coming in for lease or purchase of new vehicles. Les Stanford has also over 300 pre-owned cars on their lot right now. All makes, all models, all years. Some with less than 500 miles on them, so they're like new. Get off your heels into some wheels. Come on down today, practically giving them away.
Oh, yeah.
At Les Stanford Chevrolet and Cadillac. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new road.
Find them.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
At Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. Have a long, big project coming up. Alta Rentals got you covered. Call them today at 844-GO, the number 2, Alta. That's 844-GO-2-ALTA.
Alta.
Well, I'd say I did not anticipate us being 1-4 going into the bye. I did not. I did not see that. So it was better on defense. Not saying it's good enough, but it's better. And so that's encouraging.
I was looking at you.
Pretty good, Dan Campbell. He did not expect 1-4. Neither did I. But you know who did? This guy. 1-4. He called it at the break.
You have to have talent. You gotta have.
I told you.
You gotta have dudes on the defensive side of the ball as well as the offensive side of the ball. You got some guys on the offensive side of the ball. That's why you've had some success in this season. But you just don't have those guys on defense, man. You don't have the Mike linebacker position. You don't have a guy on the opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson. I know you played Charles Harris, but check it out. Charles Harris just isn't panning out right now. DBs have been outside of Jeff Okudah bad. For the most part, it's just tough sledding. All that grit, all that motivational knee slappers and all that kind of stuff, it sounds good, but when you're not winning games, then it's like, all right, I don't want to hear any more about this stuff. What's some X's and O's stuff? Yeah. What is the actual strategic plan? What are we going into the mindset of this game? Right. How are we going to attack the Dallas Cowboys in 2 weeks? Where are you going to implement some nuances, some things to get you guys going back on the right track? Because you guys started up, it's all about momentum. You guys have momentum from the draft. Then you get momentum, find out you had Hard Knocks. Then you get momentum through minicamp. Then we watch Hard Knocks. Then the first game of the season, you come out, you only lose by 3 to arguably the best team in the game. Then in the second week, you win. Lions are freaking 1-1 for the first time in Lord knows how long. And then you play a third game that we watched you give up. But that's where the momentum starts. We watched you give that game away in Minnesota. You know how huge that would have been to get a win in the division at Minnesota? Then you give up 14.
Changes the whole season.
Exactly. Then you give up 14 points. Then you come back and you let Geno Jackson or Lamar Smith, whatever one you want to call him, you let him have one of the,
you did there.
You let him have the best game of his career. Now he's riding high. It was the Seattle Seahawks. This is not the Seattle Seahawks from 2013, man. It's these Seahawks. And then you go to New England and you lose to a third-string quarterback who might be okay in the future, but not now. Yeah. And a team that had no offensive identity. Defense is just playing average all year. You lose to them on the road. The momentum that we have from draft is complete, or from draft to Hard Knocks to game 1 to game 2, it's completely gone. It's completely gone. So this is a pivotal bye week for the Detroit Lions to get back on track against the Cowboys, because they're not going to beat them. But it's just like we said about Michigan State and Ohio State. I just want to see you guys fight out pride and figure out some different things.
No doubt about that, man, especially when your number 1 pick hasn't played well the last couple of weeks. We'll just leave it at that.
But we know he can sing Michael Jackson, though.
Yeah, he can. I know that. That's great. Hopefully Josh Pascal will help him and be that double duo, that dynamic duo that Brad Holmes wanted to get. But I wanted to tell you about that 4th and 9. You're down 6-0. You're driving. It would have been a 49-yard field goal, maybe a 50-yard field goal at that point. You signed Michael Badgley to be your kicker. And from what I read in a couple of Lion Twitter accounts.
Curious about this.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
He didn't want to kick it at that point because they were facing the open end of the stadium. And he felt that it would not be as easy of a kick because of that. Now, from what I understand, the wind was not a factor. Nick Folk kicked 5 field goals. And we never saw Michael Badgley. I'm not even sure if we saw him on a kickoff. Because, like I said, I was driving from here, from after the pregame, driving home, and then they were getting creamed, so I just went into the garage and listened to it. And I said, if Michael Badgley, if he wasn't hurt, how do you not trot him out to kick a 49-yard field goal in a 6-0 field goal? 6-0 game. It's shades of Martin Morningweg taking the wind in Chicago.
Listen here. You are struggling being a head coach, which you actually do get paid for. Don't try to be a weatherman at the same time. Be a head coach. Oh, the wind, and it was open, and that's why we did it. You didn't do it because you made the wrong call. Now that comes in as, well, it's an open end, and the way the wind comes in the stadium on this side of Gillette, we knew that it'd be a little bit more push. The kick would be a little bit longer. Come on, man, save me all that. That's an answer that you came up with. So the real answer is, I effed up. The real answer is, I effed up. But he didn't want to say that. He wanted to be a weatherman all of a sudden.
Did they call a timeout there, by the way, or did they just go for it?
I don't recall.
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
I do not recall.
Call a damn timeout then. Discuss it with your entire staff, your players. Badgley, can you hit this? Yeah. Put me in.
Well, don't these kickers kick before the game?
Of course.
And all that
he
stuff.
Probably saw him. Maybe he missed a few.
Yeah.
He might have missed a few. But Justin Tucker missed 6 field goals in the pregame. And what's her name? Whoever the NBC
trotted him out.
Whoever the NBC sideline reporter was asked him at the end of the game, hey, you missed 6 field goals in pregame, blah, blah, blah. How'd you feel about going in? He's like, lucky they don't keep stats in the pregame. That's what he said. Lucky they don't keep stats in the pregame.
Can we get this man $20 million a year? Like, I'm talking about, this man has not missed a kick in the second half, and Lord knows how long. He hasn't missed a kick in the fourth quarter in overtime. He's like, was it 59 and 60? No, he's 60 in a row. Like, just think about that for a second. We can't get a guy to make an extra point, but this guy has 60 field goals in a row in the second half, fourth quarter, and overtime.
You know what they said about his last game-winning kick?
Machine.
About Justin Tucker's game-winning kick. They said, if there was a yard and a yard on the sides here, he would have kicked it. He would have kicked it right in the middle of those 2 yards in the goalpost. That's how perfectly it was in the center.
So good. It's incredible. Speaking of so good, the NFL, plenty of news and notes. We'll go around the NFL. We'll do it next. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment on your dream home. Up to $200,000. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Wicked awesome.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports. Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
OddsTrader.com is the #1 site for your play-by-play bets. The best live sports book. Guess what? Multiple sports book, the best points, the best bets. Also, what they do is they give you the best odds for spreads. They give you the best stats so that they can help you pick the player that you want to start this week in fantasy or make a parlay with. Simply put, OddsTrader.com is the best. Go there, get you some cash.
And if you follow our picks throughout the week, we're kind of neck and neck right now. All of us are right there. Plenty of season to go.
I keep getting cheated.
You and everybody else, Bray. You and everybody else.
Hey, man, you know what? You're something else.
You know what time it is. It is time to go around the NFL. Tom Mazawey.
Yes, sir. Let's start in Carolina, where the Panthers have a new head coach, at least on the interim basis. Former Arizona coach, remember him? Steve Wilkes. He comes in before Matt Rule. Matt Rule got fired, still got $45 million in his pocket.
I mean, I'm fired.
He can hang out. So Steve Wilkes, what his first move is, Steve Wilkes fires the 2 top assistants for Matt Rule. That's what he did today. So he wants his own guys in there, obviously. Maybe those guys followed him from Baylor over to Carolina. Who knows? But he got rid of Matt Rule's guys, and he got his own guys in there now. Other stuff in Carolina. Panthers have a bunch of good players. They've got Christian McCaffrey. They've got Brian Burns, the linebacker, DJ Moore, the wide receiver, and a couple of other guys that they are supposedly putting on the trading block. Rumors out there already that they have received calls on some of these players, including CMC.
If I'm Buffalo Bills, I'm going all in on Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
The one thing that the Buffalo Bills do not have is a consistent running game. Look, I got Singletary on my damn fantasy league, and he's killing me with the exception of one game. They got to get consistent run. That way you take some of that pressure off off Josh Allen. Because I'm telling you, man, like all this running with Josh Allen, some of it's designed, some of it isn't. He's just a very freakish athlete. But, man, you don't want your quarterback taking 39% of your run plays. Like, that's not the way to have success. That's the way to get a quarterback killed. CMC in Buffalo, sometimes you need a new start. I know all about that.
How about the Lions going after that linebacker, Brian Burns?
No, they ain't going to do that.
He's a linebacker.
No.
We need linebackers.
They ain't going to do anything crazy like that.
No?
Why would they?
Somebody just came up.
Why would they
why
sign
would they
anybody?
try to improve it?
Yeah, why would they try? You're right. I forgot.
Somebody just got a good line. Deion Jones, Pro Bowl linebacker from the Falcons. He just went to a contender, a good team. I got to think about where it was, but moves like that are the moves I'm talking about. Now, I get it. You got to wait and you draft through. You know, you get your players through the draft. You don't want to pick up unnecessary contracts. I get all that, but at the end of the day, the teams that are winning are making moves. The teams that they make moves.
Listen, man, London's game on past Sunday, the Giants and the Packers, the highest rated London game in NFL history.
You know why?
Why?
Aaron Rodgers.
It was the first. It was the first game in London history that featured 2 winning teams.
Good point. Good game, though.
You know, great game.
Giants win at 27-22. Guess what they did? Their PR department come out after the game,
got drunk,
and they put this out. Hey, good picks, everyone, on the NFL Network.
I saw that. Was that
Did you
great
see that?
or what?
Isn't that
Everybody.
sweet?
If you ever see this as a gambler, by the way,
go the other way.
You automatically take the Giants. It's just the way it is. If you ever see that again, take the Giants.
See, I'm glad you told me that, because I definitely picked the Packers like everybody else.
Hey, can I just say, did you see, and again, we can't show this to you, but did you see the player for the New York Giants getting
a massage,
bruise rubbed out on his thigh?
Yeah.
But the way it's shot, you see a little butt crack in there. It was really nice. And it just looks like the guys giving him a little bit of a,
exactly.
a
rub down.
A little bit of a fluff.
A little rub and tug.
Yeah. And they were going crazy on that.
Fluff.
They were calling that the Giants' OnlyFans page.
That's a 70s time. That's a 70s time.
This guy's the fluffer.
Yeah.
You know, you can't.
Hold on. Break and cut. Get the fluffer.
No fluffer, please.
I mean,
get him out of there. Action. He's back good.
Wait, somebody tweeted upon some breaking news, upon seeing this, Deshaun Watson has immediately asked for a
trade to the Giants.
To the Giants.
Yes.
Terrible, man.
Mind
What's
you,
wrong with you people?
Good stuff.
Mind you, that's something to start talking about soon, because Deshaun Watson will be back in. He's close. He's about 5 weeks away. And the Cleveland Browns.
More than that, right? 7, 6. Because they're 5 games. He's got 11 games,
He's
right?
got 5. He's got 10.
Oh, 10. That's
He's got 10 games.
God bless you, Braylon.
He's got 10. Thank you. I thought I sneezed. I'm messing with you. Yeah, he has 5 games left. Jacoby Brissett is holding on for dear life. Nick Chubb is playing really well. Amari Cooper is finding himself. The defense is helping him out in Cleveland. It could be something when he gets back, man. Be another team talking
Their
about
kicker is
AFC.
killing them. They have lost 2 games to the Jets that they never should have lost, and last week they lost to the Chargers, 30-28 on a missed kick. I mean, that's 2 wins more. 2 more wins for the Cleveland Browns. Let's move to Antonio Brown. The guy always wants to put himself in the news. Here's the latest tweet he put out for Tom Brady.
Why is he doing this to him, do you think?
What does that read? Read it for everybody.
Daddy doesn't live here anymore.
It's a book about divorce. And you see Daddy with a suitcase walking out of the house with Mom and the little kid at the doorstep, which is very sad.
Why is he doing this? Like, is there, like, I can't figure it out. Unless he's mentally unwell.
He's just a ball buster.
There is some level of CTE in there, and maybe somebody made a good comment. I think it was you that told me. Say since Vontez Burfict, he's been a very different individual. But I don't think it's that. Although he's a little off his rocker from time to time, I just think it's the relevancy. Like, look at how many people are talking about him.
Yep.
Like, we're still talking about AB. AB ain't caught a pass in a year. Like, AB hasn't caught a pass in a year, and we're talking about him every week. And then sometimes 4 or 5 days a week.
He's only relevant
he puts it out there.
Yeah, exactly. And here we are still talking about it. So I think it's a little bit of that. Like, once you get that, what's the word I'm looking for? Once you see people talking about you, once you get that popularity and you're used to being talked about, and then all of a sudden people don't talk about you for a couple days or a couple months, you're like, damn, they're not talking about me. Well, time to do some crazy stuff again. So I think it's a lot of that, just wanting to stay popular,
relevant,
whether it's for bad reasons or not.
We'll see how he does, what he does this week to Tom Brady. And lastly, my last story is Odell Beckham. And we talked about this a little bit, but he did come out with this, and someone tweeted it out. Here's his teams. He's looking for a mid-November return.
That's right, and that mid-November return will be most likely the Bills, the Bucks, the Packers, the Chiefs, and the Rams. I think you can scratch out the Rams. I think the Rams are DOA. I think the Los Angeles Rams are dead. That was my hot take alert last week.
Yeah.
I don't think they make the playoffs. I think it's going to be real. I think they're going to be out of it real early as well. So I think some combination of the Chiefs, Bucks, Packers, Chiefs and Packers to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm at.
Are the two. But you can throw the Bills in there. But why would you want to go in that cold weather with that knee?
Yeah.
They're old cold weather, but why would he go to Buffalo when they have all those great receivers?
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's not going to be Buffalo. They're eyeing Christian McCaffrey to go along with Gabriel Davis and Stephon Diggs and Knox and Crowder and McKenzie. But that Chiefs, man, like I said, you haven't seen man-to-man coverage with the Chiefs in a very long time. Like, they're playing man-to-man. They playing up. They don't respect anybody on the wide receiver position for the Chiefs. That's their downfall right now. So you look at a spot like that, say, man, Odell could be something special there and get those guys going. Plus, they got young guys, too, that Odell can help out. So that could be a good spot. But the mid-November point is an interesting point because he's still on PUP right now, technically.
Yeah.
So if he was assigned with a team right now, he'd be on PUP, which means he only had 4 weeks to be ready. So him waiting is because he's going to be on PUP when he first gets there, and it's also to get him into a system, starting to know the system, etc. I wouldn't be surprised if he's already learning the Chiefs system right now.
I got one more to squeeze in for you. I was going to use it.
Can I say one thing before that?
Of course.
I changed my mind. I think Odell Beckham is going to go to the Bills or the Bucks. And it's because both of those teams do already have strong number ones. Coming off a second ACL or whatever.
But you said Bills already because you and I got into an argument yesterday.
But then I got into. Then I said
they have a 1 and a 2.
Chiefs
and a 3.
Chiefs and Packers. Neither the Chiefs nor the Packers have a strong 1. I think that if there's a strong 1 there, whether it's Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, or Stephon Diggs, I think that takes a crap ton of pressure off of a guy like Odell Beckham. He could just come in, play his role, and be great.
But we know Odell's not trying to be 1. When he came into the Rams situation last year, he wasn't even going to be 2.
Exactly.
He was going to be 3 behind Robert Woods. Robert Woods got hurt, what puts him to the lineup a little earlier, and he had to develop, and he struggled the first maybe the first 3-4 weeks they struggled, and then they started getting on the rhythm. But you're going to talk about going to Buffalo. Man, they're set. They're set there.
It was my choice. If I was him, I'm going to KC or Green Bay.
I know. You're going to play with
one of those guys.
Mahomes is what you're going to do, really.
We can take a break and come back with Coach Prime if you want.
Oh, yeah, but first a message from Chili Peppers Tanning.
27 locations, more on the way, too, right here on Woodward. And if you join the Chili Peppers Club, they will save you $5 against any competitor on unlimited tanning and more. They got the products in there that you need. It's homecoming time for all your kids at home. You want to get them looking good. You know they're going to do it one way or the other. So send them to Chili Peppers Tanning. The best deals, the hottest deals, and, of course, your vitamin D headquarters. It's ChiliPeppersTanning.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, Allen! Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
What's up, my people? Are you looking to buy or sell a home? I got just a guy for you. Michael Phillips is the man looking to buy, sell, invest. Mike Phillips does it all, man. 23 years on the job. You know what that tells me? The man's got experience. The man knows how to do this. He's #1 in the state. So this is where you got to go. And I'm going to make it real simple for you. 313-403-0011. 313-403-0011. Game on Mike Phillips.
Talk coming.
When's he getting here? When's Aiden getting here?
I love saying that. I just love saying it. Talk coming.
Hey, Phillies on top
So
of the
funny.
Braves, 7-3. They're in the 7th.
I know the Braves had.
They just can't get over the hump on this Phillies bullpen.
Hit a double. The Braves had 2 on, 1 out. 3-run homer at the plate, and
you never know.
You're within
Still
1.
got
but
time.
They had bases loaded with 1 out in the first.
They left like 16 men on base.
They're in the
It's
Phillies. They're in the
unbelievable.
Phillies bullpen. They got a chance, and the Mariners out in front of Justin Verlander and the Astros 1-0.
I'd love to see
Cal Raleigh with the RBI.
I'd love to see
Did
Seattle.
I pick Seattle when we were talking yesterday?
You did.
Yeah, I said I think they.
I'm feeling you.
I like J-Rod, man.
I'm
It's their
feeling
first
you.
time in 21
He got
years.
on. He scored.
Hey, can
Raleigh
I
not
just say
J-Rod's code.
one thing?
Yeah, please.
Angela Lansbury died. For the kids out there, 96 years old. For the kids out there, they have no idea.
Murder. She
Her
wrote.
catalog.
Right, Murder, She Wrote. And it,
Pat Summerall throwing a Murder,
that's
She
where I'm
Wrote.
going. That's where I'm
After
going.
NFL
Thank you.
football.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
No, please.
He stole it
I was
from
just
you.
going to say there was no greater just thing about football growing up than when Pat Summerall and John Madden would sign off on a game and they would throw it to Murder, She Wrote, and Pat Summerall.
60 minutes first.
60 minutes. Tonight on CBS, 60 minutes.
Followed by Murder. She wrote.
Because there was a comma there. You had to pause
like the
for the
underneath,
comma. Murder.
She
She
wrote.
wrote.
Shawnee does a great Pat Summerall.
Who does?
Even though she's 96.
Sean Belegian.
Oh.
Even though she's 96, a lot of kids will know her. You know why? It's because she's the teapot in Beauty and the Beast.
How about that?
Tale as old as time.
I did not know that.
Song as old as rhyme.
Look at
Really?
Beauty and the Beast.
God bless you.
You got a lot of talent.
Angela Lansbury.
You know who else is very talented? Deion Sanders. Prime time.
He's busted some balls, man.
He's ruffling some feathers.
Yes, he is.
Good. I love that energy.
So Jackson State beats. I don't even know who the hell they beat, but they were coached by
Is it
Eddie Robinson
Grambling?
Jr.
No, he's actually not at Graham. He's at another one.
He's not out of NAIA. He's at some other school.
He's not at Grambling. where
Either
his
way,
father's
Eddie
coach.
Robinson Jr., the coach on the other sideline. Do we have the video?
Yeah, of course.
Here it is.
Check it out from Saturday. Here comes Deion. He's coming up to shake Eddie Robinson. Deion's in the white shirt, obviously. Deion wants to hug it out. Deion wants to hug it out. Look. And look, pushed him away and walked away.
All right, maybe it is Grambling.
No, it's not.
Did Deion try to pull him in for the hug? I've watched it a million times.
Alabama State.
There you go.
I've watched it a million times. I still haven't been able to.
Let's see it again there.
It wasn't what happened in that moment. It was something that happened in pregame warm-up, and it was something that happened all week in terms of conversations to the media or whatever. You know what it really is, and it's sad, and you guys can't understand, but you've seen it. It's sad that black men just can't get along. Because you know what this is? This is a jealous individual whose father is the HBCU GOAT, one of the greatest football coaches and coaches, period, of all time, in Eddie Robinson Sr. He's supposed to be the heir apparent. He's not having any success at Alabama State. Meanwhile, Deion Sanders, who didn't go to an HBCU, has came in and in 2 years created so much change. Look how many times HBCUs are now on ESPN. Right. Look at what he's doing for these kids. HBCU kids are getting NIL deals. They didn't even have any funding 2-3 years ago, and now you're starting to get funding. Now you're starting to get put in the national scene. This looks like hate. I know what hate looks like, and in the words of Dave Chappelle, hate.
Yeah, I don't know the particulars of that argument or whatever. It is because that Eddie Robinson name amongst the coaching ranks in college football history, just one of the great names.
Greatness.
And yeah, sports is a funny thing, you know. Sports is a funny thing. Creates a lot of emotion.
You bet it does.
Creates a lot of emotion. I mean, you're not trying to tie out there either. You're trying to win.
This is from Eddie Robinson Jr. I thought there was a lot of disrespect the whole week, and so you're not going to be disrespectful all week in the media, Robinson said. We didn't talk in the pregame. I was out there the whole time at the 50-yard line. He walked through our huddle on our end zone. He came the long way around to get to his side during the pregame. Thought that wasn't classy at all. Post-game, I'm not going to give you a hug on some Obama SHIT after you chose not to speak to me. So that's what he said. He had a problem with that. You know what
sounds like he got a reason, though.
That sounds like some BS.
I don't know.
That sounds.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Maybe Deion didn't go up to him, and he kind of was there looking for him.
Did he go up to Deion?
Well, he's sitting there waiting.
It takes two to tango, baby. It takes two to tango. It takes two to tango.
I mean, so great.
Yeah,
so great. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I saw that video. I mean, you got two guys. You know, we've seen Jim Schwartz and
Jimmy Handshake.
Handshake.
I was on
Jim Schwartz and Jim Harbaugh going after each other in a handshake line. It happens.
I love that. Oh, that was great. That was great.
And then Harbaugh's like, "What? Me? What?"
I know. He's such a what a star.
Who will win that fight?
Harbaugh.
Harbaugh's built, man. But I go with
Harbaugh's built, but Schwartz is a little scrappy
tough.
dude.
He's tough.
He's scrappy, but he'd be all out there, all irate and all over the place. Harbaugh would be like,
my final take is never bet against the quarterback in the fight. That's all I'm saying.
Did you see what Harbaugh and Angelique?
That was so great.
That was great.
That was so great.
Fill people in.
So Angelique asked Harbaugh to comment on the turnover buffs, as she called them, the turnover sunglasses.
Come on, man. We invented
Thank you
this
for
stuff,
the white people out there.
Yes.
The buffs are referring to wood grain Cartier glasses, man. We've been doing this for 30 years.
So Jim Harbaugh says,
I didn't know that.
Like, had no idea what
buffs
Angelique was talking about.
Shocking.
So Dave Abloff has to explain, the sunglasses, and he gets his big smile on his face. He's like, "Oh, Angelique." He's like, "Boy, you're really with it. You're really with it. Nobody can ever accuse you of not being with it."
Everyone started laughing, man. Rolling.
The angel of the big house, as dubbed by man.
He looks happy, which is good. He's going into that Penn State game.
They're going to win the national championship.
Listen, they're 6-0. They're back-to-back. They're 6-0 for 2 years in a row for the first time since 1977.
Yeah.
Michigan's getting into uncharted territory for them. You can say what you want to about them. Jim Harbaugh has his finger in the pulse, and this program is turning around. You can talk about the schedule and whatnot.
Screw the schedule.
Exactly.
I'm so sick of this schedule talk. If Michigan beats Penn State and Ohio State, they're in the friggin' national championship.
Penn State is
playoff.
a 7-point underdog, and Michigan State is a 7.5-point underdog at home.
Dude, they're going to lose
to
7
Wisconsin.
in a row. 7 in a row they're going to lose. They've lost 4 in a row. They're going to lose to Wisconsin. They're going to lose to Michigan. And they're going to lose to Illinois.
Ooh.
Who's 24 in the country, by the way. Brett Bielema got those boys playing.
How about that?
He's got those boys playing.
You think Wisconsin's disappointed they don't have him anymore?
Is Peter still the coach there, or the quarterback in Illinois? Remember Michigan?
It's Kirk Kittner.
Kirk
Kittner.
You know who might be the quarterback there?
What's his name? Son, Jeff George's son. Is he still there?
I was going to say Cade. Cade McNamara. The rumors are out there, man.
Hey, if I'm Cade, I'm going to Michigan State.
Rumors have been out there forever. He'll probably go.
Don't you want him to go to a lesser school? Didn't you say you wanted him out of the Big Ten?
No, I don't.
If it was him?
First of all, I don't fear Cade.
If you were him.
Oh, and I had his talent?
Yes.
Yeah, I would get out the Big Ten.
Okay.
I think somebody brought up Tulsa, which was a good one. But
go to Cincinnati for a couple of years.
But for fun, I go to Michigan State. They're a step down.
It's amazing how we talking about this kid. I mean, we don't talk about him anymore.
No.
He got what's to talk about?
He got in the playoff last year.
He or David Ojabo and Aiden Hutchinson and Hassan Haskins and Blake Corum.
Dax Hill.
And him.
He made some key plays in the Wisconsin game, the Nebraska game.
Penn State,
he made a throw.
I think he
made a throw. He didn't have a great game.
He's a very standoffish guy too that I think rubs a lot of people the wrong way. I don't know what it's part of what makes him a leader.
No.
What is it?
You didn't love him last year when he would talk.
I didn't love him. I never loved him.
After he talked?
I like him because he won, but I never really connected with him.
But I know why you didn't connect with him. It has nothing to do with who he is. You didn't connect with him because you was trying to get number 9 ass in the game all last year.
Yeah. Well,
so you weren't even paying.
You like rah-rah guys, I guess.
No, I just didn't connect with him. Is that okay?
Yeah,
I love Cade McNamara for winning the Big Ten
Last year you
championship.
connected to him.
No, you didn't.
I connected to Aiden
Ryan was
Hutchinson and Ojabo and Dax Hill, Josh Ross. Those are the guys.
I just
Hassan
remember.
Haskins.
I remember those post game when they got him after Ohio State. And they talked to him.
I gotta go, everybody.
You go ahead and go.
I gotta go. You guys continue this.
I want to talk about Cade McNamara.
Right. Get us out of this.
Another great show. Appreciate Damein Woody, my buddy, longtime friend and teammate for the New York Jets. Coming on, give us some expertise. Maz with the hot take. Ron Rivera to be fired as the next head coach to lose his job.
And the Raiders to make the playoffs.
And Raiders to make the playoff as a 1-14. First time it's happened since 2020, which is the Chargers.
1983 Lions.
Here we go. I was born in that year, man. We got to talk more about the Lions. What are they going to do? It's bye week. Are they going to lose the bye week as well? We'll figure it out. For my man JB Fletcher on my right, Uncle Maz in the chair, my brother from another mother giving me a legal massage, as they say. Ryan Ermanni. We are Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, and we are out of here.
See ya.
Well, I would say I did not anticipate us being 1-4 going into the bye. I did not. I did not see that.